exciting was it to get back in the lineup last night and play?
It was exciting. Actually, a little bit nervous. I haven't played for a month and a little bit more, so I was excited. It was fun.
So was there actually some butterflies? You were kind of like, oh man, I mean.
Actually, it was. Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be, but before the puck drop, I was a little bit nervous, so I'm not gonna lie.
How'd you feel in terms of the minutes you played just physically throughout that game?
Of course, the timing and everything is gonna take maybe a little bit of time to get used to, you know. But I felt like I came into it pretty quick, so no, it felt good.
Brady Tkachuk had a nice long conversation from the penalty box. What was going on between you guys?
You know, like situations happen, and he argued about something, I argued back, and you know, it's hockey, I guess, and I've been getting a lot of questions from my friends about that, but you know, it's stuff like that's gonna come, so it was just fun to get back in the lineup, honestly.
All right, so what did your friends and buddies say? I mean, what they? Give us a couple of good ones.
Yeah, I know, it was a couple of good ones that I can't really talk about, but it was like, now the league knows you're back at least, so it was like more like that.
Just to mix it up like that and play engage, how does that help you get back into the game mode? Not for the fighting per se, but just the engagement of the game.
I think a lot. Like, so funny thing, me and JVR went to a basketball game. The Pistons played, and you can see how they play with the edge all the time. And I told him, like, you know, we should have this a little bit more in our team. And I didn't go in with the feeling that I should have a fight, you know, but I felt like the whole team played really hard. And when we play hard and we hit people and we make it tough for the other guys, like we're a hard team to beat. And that showed yesterday. So I think a little bit more grit from our part, and it's going to take us a long way.
Todd was just talking about how this time of year, checking's tighter, it's harder to score more, and really everybody's dialed in at this point in the season. How much do you notice that nearing the end of the year?
No, a lot. I don't know how many points we are away from everybody else, but I know it's very tight, and everything's gonna be on point. The defense, the offensive forecheck, it's gonna be hard to play this soft game. So getting to it right away felt great for me. So I was just playing my game out there and trying to come back as fast as possible.
Were you kind of surprised when you saw him skate over to you there and then just keep on talking like that, like going into the box and everything? Kind of like, what's going on here? Or?
I was not surprised at all. I knew he was going to do that, so it was more like I was just ready for it.
The team has a long break, and then you guys jump right into stretch drive here. What's been the message from the coaching staff going into the final couple months?
We have 23 more games now, and it's all about speed, management, and play the right way. You know, we know some teams are out of it, and we are very much in it, and that's going to be hard because players come from the back, and that's tough. You know, like you need to keep your position on top, and just to play with as I said, game management and with pace and grit, like that's going to take us a long way. So it's been all about details and a lot about that as well.
How much does it help just playing with Mo, sliding in there? It helps coming back into the lineup, playing with a guy like that, I would think.
Yeah, no, we felt pretty good together. You know, we found each other right away, and it just felt great to be out there.
Dylan, how are you going to mind? Are you just going to give him certain days off? You're going to.
Today was an obvious one. Played lots last night. Played well. His energy bank was really good, but when we give him an opportunity like this today to catch up, he needs to take advantage of it. So practice wasn't. We weren't working on systems or anything today. Today was more of a clean-out day, so he didn't miss much, and he'll be ready to play tomorrow.
How important was it just to get going with like an effort like that last night right out of the break?
Well, the win was really, really important. The fact that we were drowning in the first period, I think that was pretty obvious. The fact that we were able to get back above water and take some air in was important as well. And then I thought as the game wore on, we started to skate a little bit better. We were our energy stores looked like they were in pretty good position. But the points themselves were huge, just to start that way in that building, and have an Atlantic Division team as the opponent. So far so good, but a long way to go.
Is there anything you can point to that led to maybe a slower start in Ottawa last night?
Well, the other team has to get some credit too. It was a real big game for them as well. They're on home ice. There's a lot of energy in the building. The fans hadn't seen games for a long, long time. And, for the first 5 minutes, I thought maybe we had, we did. We had the start that we wanted to, but then the next 10 or 15, they took over. They got 2 power plays in a row. That gives them life and momentum, but we just weren't processing the game well. Spent a lot of time conditioning and skating and working on systems and stuff, but the mind has to process the game to put the body in position, and we just weren't doing that.
I feel like you guys are a little different team with Simon back in the lineup.
Well, I think that's very fair to say. Take anybody's 20, 25-minute defenseman out with size and skill and some tenacity. That's missed, and it's not, we can say next man up, and that's the way it has to be, but sometimes those guys are pretty hard to replace, and Simon's one of them right now.
There's something like what Simon did with Kachuk, the hit, and then he fights Cousins. Does that give the bench some energy, or what did you notice after that?
No, it's when an incident like that happens, you want to see everybody stick up for themselves, and the team stick up for each other. And their club did it, our club did it. It's that time of year, so it does energize the group. Simon had a big impact on the game, obviously. And it was good for him to be involved like that.
You guys have faced Carolina a couple times already this season. Countering what they do structurally, systematically, what are some of the keys to that?
Well, the start in this building, the Ottawa starts one thing, the Carolina starts another. And it's not just against the Detroit Red Wings, it's against everybody. They were up 3-0 against Tampa the other night, and you got to weather that and perform well early in the game and then play into it, so we'll be aware of that. They're a quick team, volume shooting. They don't give up much at the other end. They have a real good belief system. They have an identity, and they play to it all the time.
I don't know if concern might be a tough word, but are you concerned with the even strength scoring here in the last several games or whatnot? What can you do to improve?
We would like to.
They're concerned.
Yeah. Obviously we'd like to score more, but as I said last night, it's not easy to score at this time of the year. Some teams still get a bunch. Edvinsson got 8 last night in LA. You'll have those games, but there's going to be far more tight 2-1, 3-2 games than there are going to be 8-1 games. So chances are going to be at a premium. Shots will be at a premium. And if you get them, you can't waste them. At least make the goaltender work. And I thought there were times last night where we could have got the puck to the net a little bit more and looked to pass off. And now you go another 5-6 shifts before you get that next chance. So, and then there's things we can do on the ice. I think that we have some depth scoring that still has to come out. There's some guys that can give more in that area and get their confidence level up. If they get one, they'll probably find another one or two. We'll just see where it all goes.
You alluded to it, Todd. Why is it tougher to score goals at this time of season?
Oh, the checking's way tighter. You come out of training camp and you've got a lot of new faces. Your game management skills aren't as defined. Your new players are still trying to figure out where they fit in the team. The goaltenders, it's like pitching at the beginning of the year. At this time of the year, it's September baseball. The pitchers are keyed in. The hitters are doing their thing. The defenses are really good. And, that's why we play 82 games. It just gets better as the year goes on.